Finally, the PS2 opening logo means something. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th game in the End Stupid Marathon. A bit earlier than I was expecting to start this, but never mind, we're here now. This is Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, released on the PlayStation 2, the Xbox and the GameCube in 2001. The first next-gen Crash game. I'm playing this on PS2 today, because that's the only console in which I own the game for. No co-commentators today, unfortunately. There are some scheduling issues, but that's all fine, that's all good. We're ready to play this game, and we'll get into my thoughts on this game eventually, but for now, I'll just leave you guys with the mystery, in case you don't know my thoughts on this game already. What's that? Multiple different companies? Well, you don't say. Hi Oxide, hope you appear in the game still. Beyond that just opening thing. Nope, never mind. Okay.
Developed by Traveler's Tales. Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex.
Whoops. Give me a sec. Hang on. Back, thank you. I gotta switch these memory cards around. I still have the PS1 memory card in the... come on. What a great start. Alright, I'm gonna use the brand new PS2 memory card that I got with the PS2 console I bought. There we go. How many spaces do I have? Exactly enough for a significantly shortened version of my name. Okay. Off cuff. Let's begin Wrath of Cortex with what I'm sure will be a painlessly short opening cutscene. I'm just gonna check my phone while this is going. You guys feel free to watch or skip ahead, I don't mind, but you should probably watch just so you can know precisely how long this is and what the story is, of course. How hasn't it started yet? There we go.
Imbeciles, fools, nincompoops. Can't you idiots do anything right? According to this, your track record for spreading evil is pathetic. Ooka ooka, it's not our fault that Richard Bandicoot is to blame. I will not let anything stand in the way of evil, especially not a brainless orange marsupial. Crash must be eliminated.
Sorry, just adjusting the audio levels.
Need I remind you that Crash always finds a way to defeat us? Maybe he's just too good for us.
Enough excuses! You 5 idiots need to come up with one good plan, or else.
See, why doesn't Uka Uka just do this stuff by himself? He's powerful enough, right?
Something we have done. Say, Doctor, haven't you been tinkering with some kind of new secret weapon in your laboratory?
I don't know what you're talking about, Entropy.
Dr. Cortex, I think he's referring to this super secret weapon you've been laboring over day and night since the last time Crash defeated you.
Enough bickering! Do we have a plan? Well, in my scientific endeavors, I've been able to create a genetically advanced super weapon of unbelievable strength. But the power source is the vital missing
Hope the music audio is not getting too loud and overshadowing the dialogue or anything. That would be awful.
elementals. Right. The elementals, that's it. If released, their destructive energy could create enough power to bring my secret weapon to life. A weapon capable of crushing mountains, demolishing entire cities, and wiping Crash Bandicoot off the face of the earth forever. Get ready to face my wrath, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, what happened to Coco? See, this is my first issue with the game. Despite being a next-gen hard console, this game somehow looks worse than the original PS1 games. Am I the only one who thinks this? Like, there's just no detail anywhere. And why is Akaraku so tired? He's got bags under his eyes.
What's going on? No! Crash! Look out!
Oh boy.
Is everyone all right? It appears that my evil twin brother Uka Uka is up to his no-good tricks again. I must find out what he is planning. I'll meet up with you later. Hello. You have gotten my attention, Uka Uka. What kind of diabolical scheme do you and Dr. Cortex have planned this time? No scheme. Just some old familiar faces dropping by for a visit. No, not the elementals. Uka.
Yes, the elementals.
Release them? Don't you know what happened the last time they were free? So they were responsible for a few earthquakes from lands left in the Ice Age a couple of centuries ago. You will do much further. You cannot destroy anything, Uka Uka. They are far too dangerous. This little elf is asking for us all.
On the contrary, Aquaku. Spells disaster with good intentions. I care so much about destroy him!
You won't get away with this. Who's going to stop us?
Hello. And there's a little photo of Torna at the back.
Crash, Coco, it is just as I feared. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex have freed a group of destructive masks known as the Elementals. We must find a way to stop them before they destroy the Earth and all of its inhabitants. The only way to stop the Elementals' destructive nature is to imprison them with the use of ancient crystals.
Ugh.
Can be returned back to their hibernation stage with a total of 5 crystals.
No.
Act quickly. Coco, what is the status of the new portal chamber you've been working on?
It's almost finished. A few little adjustments here and there and it'll be ready to go.
How? What materials have you been using on this island?
Real opportunity to test it. We must hurry.
Oh boy.
Okay, all systems are ready and operational.
It's time we even up the odds and power.
Oh dear. This is not going to be fun for me. Boy. I'll get into my thoughts on this game and its story specifically as we enter the first level, but we've still got a few loading screens and another cutscene to deal with. Okay, here we go.
Crash Bandicoot, my old nemesis. Still gathering crystals? Old habits die hard, don't they? My days are being spent on something much more intriguing. Meet Crunch, my newest creation.
Hello.
This is the creature who keeps sabotaging your master plan? Ha! You gotta be kidding. I'll exterminate this field right in no time. Now, Crunch, your time with Crash will come soon enough. Listen to me. A testament to my true scientific genius. A real Bandicoot warrior.
Hey.
Well, we're all mistakes. But not for now.
Alright, so this is Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. Look familiar? Yep, it's just Crash 1 and... rather, Crash 2 and 3 all over again. Arctic Antics is level 1, and I'm glad all the dialogue is now behind us, so we can get to the gameplay and everything can be... Oh my god.
What are you looking at, Fuzzhead?
Hi, Biff.
I'm Rocco, the Earth Elemental.
No, you're Biff.
Then Dr. Cortex woke me from my captive slumber, and now I'm free to pulverize whatever gets in my way. Oh, don't even think about collecting those crystals around. I'm gonna bury you alive.
Sure you will. Okay, so this game obviously borrows a lot from the Naughty Dog games, and I think it's worse off for it, honestly. Sorry, for the first Crash game on new hardware, they could have done a lot more. They could have experimented with stuff, tried new things, really pushed the hardware, and showcase why this game deserves to be on a next-gen system. But they really didn't, apart from making the levels awfully big. Level 1 has 147 crates in it. Level 1! This is Arctic Antics. Music is great, so I'm glad I can actually hear it while we're doing this recording. Yeah, so the crystals dilemma. The whole point of Crash 3 and the reason why time travel was necessary was because the crystals had already been gathered by Crash and used up. And there was a result, there were no power sources left. But now we're just out here gathering crystals again like nothing happened. It's just completely derivative, and honestly, it hasn't been talked about nearly enough, but one of my favourite things about Crash 4, which is, definitely has been released by the time you're watching this, but as of my recording, it's 8 days away, which, oh my god, I'm so excited! But anyway, one of the best things about Crash 4 is they're not doing the crystals thing again. Which I don't see anyone talking about nearly enough. It's honestly one of the things that I'm the most happy that they're changing. Oops, daisy. That was dumb. Alright, so Arctic Antics is the first level. It's alright as an opening level. Sorry about that. No, I don't want it to seem like I think this game is completely awful, because they do get the basic platforming right. Like, that Crash still feels good to control. It's all, you know, it's not completely bastardizing the classic gameplay. Like, even though they're sticking to what the original did, or the originals did, they did that well enough. This game feels like a Crash game. At least in the platforming levels, or the Crash platforming levels, because, oh boy, we'll get to some other level variants in a sec. But no, Crash 4, well no, not Crash 4, that's a different game. Crash Wrath of Cortex. This was the first PS2 game I ever played. I went to a friend's house who had a PS2 before we had one, and he had Crash 4, and, no, not Crash 4, Christ, stop saying Crash 4. Not yet, anyway. He had Wrath of Cortex, and I got to experience the game then. From memory, I think I also played it a couple of other times before owning it myself, but this was probably the first PS2 game I ever owned. I remember devoting so much of my life as a kid to this game. This was one of my go-tos as a kid, because obviously it's a Crash game. Looking back on it, I don't really look that fondly on it. There are just not a few, there's quite a lot of little things here and there that really kind of ruined the game for me. Like, look at this bonus round, look at how empty it is. Like, they made the levels bigger, but they didn't put anything in them. This is a prime example. The bonus rounds in the original games were like, they were tight. They had a lot of boxes. Some of them had a lot of boxes in them, but it was always in like a really small amount of space, and it was always testing you basically. Here, there's so much time in between crates. Like, look at this. They made the levels bigger, but they didn't put anything in them. That was my main problem with this game now. Oh, it is my main problem with this game now. Like, they didn't take huge advantage of the new soft hardware architecture. Even though I'm not going to talk about the specs, I don't know anything about that stuff. I can only give you my thoughts as I'm playing it. Give me that life, and I'm going to take this death route. That's right, there's a death route in level 1. One of the easiest death platforms to reach in the entire series. So I can only speculate about Crash 4 right now, obviously, because it hasn't been released yet. But because as you're watching this, it will have released. I'm really going to try and avoid talking about it as much as possible until I actually play Crash 4. Actually, no, what am I doing? I have to get back to the point where I was up to. So, intentional death. Hello, death montage. Yes, I'm going to try and avoid discussing Crash 4 as much as I can. Can't really promise much because I'm very, very excited, and I have an outlet to voice that hype. So if I stray into Crash 4 territory here and there, and it gets annoying, I do apologize, but it sort of can't be helped at the moment. Now, Wrath of Court, damn it. First, unintentional death. Wrath of Cortex. So level 1 isn't too big a crime. It's fairly well balanced. It's fairly well designed. The ice physics are the best that have ever been in a Crash game. And the death platform disappeared, even though I've already got the gem for it. Oh no. What a bummer. Oh, come off it. Not doing well, level 1. I just talked about how easy it was to get to the death platform without dying, and now I'm dying a bunch, so... Egg all over my face. Come on, just jump onto the ice platform. Just jump onto the thing. Get the box. Jump back. Land properly. There we go. That's the last major challenge of the level complete. Listen to this crystal grabbing sound effect. They took the sound directly from the PS1 game. They didn't modify it or anything. All the compressed sound file is still there. It's so lazy. A lot about this game is really lazy, in my opinion. And there we go. That's the first level. Alright, so this game is this is going to be 106% walkthrough. So, once again, I'll be going for all the relics. All the, well, there's no secret exits, so don't worry about that, which, oh yeah, no secret exits. They couldn't even be bothered to try and get some interesting level exits or level designs in there. They just went, no, you accessed 5 secret levels through the relics. No, nothing to discover in the levels, no reasons to explore the levels or anything, no reason to investigate for anything out of place. I like the secrets in Crash 2. This game, it just doesn't add anything new to the series. Well, nothing substantial anyway. We'll get to the one thing it adds later on. And here we are at Tornado Alley. Again, look familiar? Look at how slow this is, seriously. This isn't fun to talk about. It's just, I mean, look at it. Level 2 is a flying level. The flying levels need to be difficult. This isn't difficult. It's just flying around. The enemies barely even come near you. Not to say anything about their aim. Like, they're just flying around doing nothing. Whenever I hit, it's because either I fly into one, or it's one of the little particles of like wind that's flying around. I don't think I've ever registered that one of them's actually hit me. Alright, how many crates are left? Quite a lot of them. I will say this though, the hitboxes on the bullets, they're very, they go for a long way. Alright, so one of those tornado things left and 6 crates to get. Alright, let's get the crate. Turn around, I don't want to accidentally destroy the tornado thing before I get... so where's the last one? Where is it? Oh, there it is, all the way over there. Great! Make this even longer. See, that time it hit me, but they do so little it doesn't matter. With the enemies in the flying levels in Warped, they stayed in front of you long enough where they could do a consistent amount of damage. But here they fly in front for a little bit, do like 4%, and then fly off. It's not challenging in any way. It's like all they were concerned about in this game was like carrying over as many elements from the original trilogy as they could, but they didn't consider what made those elements good to begin with. They just popped them in there. They say people like the flying levels, even though many didn't. Let's have a flying level, and just it's a flying level. I'm being very antagonistic right now, but I don't know. Of the main series Crash games, this is probably my least favorite, and that's including the Titans games. So let that concept sink in. Moving on to level 3, Bamboozled, which I only just recently realized is named so because of the bamboo structures in the level. I'm an idiot.
Silly Bandicoot? Huh? Do ya? Was...
That was worth the interruption. Thanks for that riveting dialogue, Rocco. Yeah, the load times are fairly long, but I'm used to them. The Atmosphere. I love this thing. This is one of the few things in this game that is new that I think is a great addition, and I hope it shows up again in the future of the Crash series, because good God, this needs to be in a better game. The physics feel just right. It's fun to control. Rolling around these levels is really great, and it feels like they put a lot of thought into these level designs. Like they really did their work for the Atmosphere, which is not surprising because it's the only vehicle variant that appears more than once. Because yeah, we just had a snow level. You will not be seeing that specific environment again. The flying levels will not be in that specific environment ever again. The Atmosphere, this bamboo structure, no, it's the future Atmosphere levels are going to be nowhere even close to the design of this level. It's like they put all of their thought into coming up with as many different level variants as possible, but they didn't stop to think about why other Crash games didn't do that. Like, it means we get 30 plus music tracks for this game, and I'm all for that because again, this soundtrack is impeccable. But when you have 25 different level themes, it means that you can't. Oh, damn it. 25 different level themes means that you can't build off of things in the future. So, like, let's take the medieval level variant in Warped, for example. You start out with the basic one, and it introduces, some of the basic enemies, like the frogs and the goats and the guys with the swords. Then you come to the second level variant, and it introduces the wizards, and they're a significantly harder enemy to deal with, and you gotta work out how to get around these new enemies. And then the third medieval variant introduces the double-header guys, and that's a completely new enemy. But when because the different environment, because the enemies are tied to the environment that they're in, they can do different things with different level variants and different enemy types. But when it's all different for every level, you can't really do that. So every enemy becomes the exact same to deal with. It's the problem I had, well, somewhat, with Warped, where every enemy could just be spun away and that's it. Whereas in 2, there was some you could only jump on, and some you could only slide, some you could only spin, some where it varied up. Here, it's that on steroids. There's absolutely no variety in how you deal with the enemies. There's almost nothing at all. There's only like a handful of slide-only enemies. I can't think of a single jump-only enemy. It makes the whole thing just seem so dry and so lifeless in some ways. How else is the lost checkpoint? I just realized. God damn. Are there only 2 checkpoints in this entire level? I only just thought of that. Wow. I never realized before that there were only like 2 checkpoints in this entire level. And those 2 checkpoints are quite a ways apart. kill the nitros. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Oh, thank God! I saw the box counter still there, and I panicked. But no, I just wasn't close enough to trigger the. And there isn't even an animation for when you get the gem. Like in Warp, there's a little thing where the box breaks open. I thought it frozen there. There's a little thing where the spinning box breaks open with the sound effect and you get the gem. Here it's just like one frame and there's a gem all of a sudden. That's... so many cut corners like that. It makes this game feel like completely less alive and less fleshed out and just so thrown together for the sake of throwing together a Crash game. In fact, that's what this feels like more than anything else. It wasn't, let's do a Crash game and try something new and, like, you know, take the franchise further than it was. It's, let's make a Crash game because Crash games sell. That's what this game feels like more than anything else, and I don't think that that's really in the spirit of the original games. Anyway, Wizards and Lizards is the second platforming level out of the 4 we've done. And we're 26 minutes in. Oh, I forgot we have one of you. Because it's been so long since we've had a level that required you. So at the very least in this game, when you do a vehicle level that Aku isn't allowed to be in, they don't just take Aku away from you forever, like in Warped. No, not in Warped, in Cortex Strikes Back. They do let you retain the Aku for the next time you need him, which is handy. Ah, hello. And potentially the only game where you can break a checkpoint crate with an enemy. Come on, get on top of the thing, thank you. And they reused the Warped main theme as well, which is something else I really hated. Like, I think between Crash Bash and this, that's what made the Warped theme become like the Crash main theme. Whereas like, no, give every game its own main theme, don't be so lazy. It's more laziness. They didn't make... They made so many, like, amazing... music, so much amazing music for the different level themes, but they didn't make a new piece of music for the main theme to this game. That could have been an amazing main theme, like sort of like what I didn't want to talk about it, but sort of like what the Crash 4 main theme currently sounds like from the demo footage we've gotten. Like, it feels new and it feels reminiscent of the original trilogy, which is what this game isn't. It doesn't feel new. And it feels derivative of the original trilogy. That's the difference between this unofficial Crash 4 official in Japan and the official Crash 4. Like, it's derivation versus originality. There's way too much of just one in this game. And I was really worried about that dragon hitting me. Oh yeah, and invincibility's dog shit as well. We don't move any faster. It doesn't even look like Crash is powered up here. Just little sparkles around him and that's it. Like, there's nothing exciting about that. Ah, damn it. And the death animation is back to the Crash 1 one, which was the most lazy one of all. It was 2001 when this happened. It's new hardware. And you went back to the cheapest possible death animation? You couldn't even make it the Angel. So bad. There's no character in this game. There's no depth. There's no originality. Like I said, there's just nothing. And I don't think it was because they wanted to throw back to Crash 1 that way. Because again, it just comes across as, damn it, it just comes across as entirely lazy. I hate to keep using the same words over and over to describe this game because that makes me derivative, but that's honestly how I feel. Ah, bugger. So this is the game getting me back for insulting it. I'm just dying over and over again to like the simplest jumps. At least I haven't fallen down that pit yet. Went the other way around it this time. I was worried about that one. Oh, wait. Ah, crap. There's a death platform in this level. Christ. Didn't even register that because it's been so long since I've died on this level. long it takes to reset a level after death as well. Oh my god, I don't like this game. And yeah, I would rather be playing this than dealing with Swamp Fox right now. That's how bad Swamp Fox is. I legitimately had I was very much deep in thought last night when I was recording this, about whether or not I should just suck it up and give Crash Bash like a real college try, see it through to the end in one go, or if I should move on. Like, I was really deep in thought about it because I didn't know what to do. Mainly because I know how I feel about Crash Wrath of Cortex right now, and I was genuinely weighing up playing this versus playing one of the worst controlling things I've ever played. Because at least with Crash Bash, it's something a little different, and you get the sense that they were trying to do something new for the Crash series. But with this, again, it really just feels like they made a Crash game for the sake of making a Crash game. And they had the license now, they wanted to make a new game, and they knew it would sell, and I think it did. I don't know the sales figures off the top of my head, but I'm fairly certain it sold really well. Well, it does feel good to be playing a game that was intended for this hardware and not a PS1 game on a PS2. Oh, I want to see something here. Damn it, I thought I had exactly 0 Wumpa Fruit at the end of all this. But I didn't. Hi, Aku Aku, come back to me, please. Oh, I thought I fell down the hole there. Stay away from the dragon. Don't die this time, Crash. I don't need to be hitting these crates. I'm pretty sure the dragon gets them, but... Oh dear. Dangerously close. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm really nervous now. Again, it's been ages since I've properly died on this level, as of, like, before today, so... I don't know why I'm all of a sudden dreading this dragon, but it's not that hard to avoid. It does sort of feel like the dragon is moving faster than you can, which honestly isn't that fair, but okay, I made it over that bit. Screw you. Okay. I don't know why I'm going for this yet. Hang on, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm coming back for those boxes in a second. Yeah, and there's no even... I just realised now another problem I have with some of this level design, and it's largely for the sake of, like, challenge, but again, Crash needs to be challenging. So, there's obviously death platforms in this game, and colored gem platforms make a reoccurrence as well. But every single one of them leads to a level exit. They didn't. Like in Crash 2 and 3, there were some death platforms and colored gem platforms where they doubled back to the main level, and there were boxes on both routes, so you had to figure out for yourself and navigate how to get everything. Like, say what you will about Cold Hard Crash, but at least working out how to do it is a challenge, and when you figure it out, it's fun to pull off properly. But with this game, there's nothing like that. It's just all, oh, there's a death platform. If you want the box gem, I guess you're gonna have to die. If you have to die in the death platform and come back to the main level, there's no maneuvering, and there's nothing like Gone Tomorrow either, which is like a really fun example of it, where it's like, you know, there's the switch crate at the end of the green gem path that triggers crates that were inaccessible earlier in the level, and it makes you double back to it. Like, that's fun. Working that stuff out is a challenge, and it's interesting, and it's fun, and there's nothing like that in here. It just feels like the most basic level design possible. And it doesn't feel anything like the spirit of the original Crash games. Like, I get that that's a very scathing analysis, but I've had a long time to think about and play this game and come to these opinions.
I'm gonna shake, rattle, and roll your Bandicoot butt.
See, oh my god, yeah. And the interruptions in Crash 2 and 3, that dialogue was actually good. And it wasn't just an interruption for the sake of, oh, Crash 2 and 3 had the bosses interrupting you throughout the game. I guess we've got to do it too, even though we can't think of any witty dialogue to write for them or any story-specific reason that it actually happens. Alright, minecart shenanigans and compactor reactor. This section is rather fun, actually. Yeah, the game gets it right occasionally. Some of these vehicle segments are fun to control, even though I haven't pressed a button in like 15 seconds. It's energetic, and it's high octane Crash action, so I'm all for it. And occasionally, you saw it for a bit there, because the levels are so vast, occasionally you'll turn a corner and you'll have no idea what's coming up around the corner. Like, the corridor gameplay is sometimes just too... it takes the corners too wide. You'll see what I mean later on. I'll try and point it out next time I see it, but... oh dear. Ah, I thought I made that. I really should have just spun the crate and been done with it. I shouldn't have gone for the Wumpa fruit. And what's that guy meant to be? How's that guy? Has anyone ever actually been killed by that enemy? I'm curious. Oh dear. There we go. If I'd been killed by that enemy right after saying that, that would have been pretty comic. Yeah, but like the levels are so big and those enemies do nothing. They only impact a certain area. They don't even follow Crash's movements. Oh dear. Like there's no point in that enemy even being there if you've already got that brain doing that thing. It just feels like they put him there because there was an empty area and they needed to pop out with something. And now these ones are wearing white costumes. Like what's the difference between these guys and the black ones? Nothing. It's just it's just a variation that means nothing. When those white ones could have been designated the ones that home in on you. There was so much that they could have done, and they didn't do like anything interesting. I think that's partly why I'm so hard on this game, is because like the potential was there. There's a lot of interesting ideas. You know, the Atmosphere Crash Bandicoot is a cool concept. Like, you know, Cortex finally achieves his, like, idealized Bandicoot warrior. So it's sort of like, you know, alternate history Crash. But, like, again, they don't do anything with that either, because all the battles are like he's paired up with an elemental. We never get to see what Crunch could do on his own. And I feel like I'm... oh, Jesus Christ. That feels like I really shouldn't have landed that. I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, that's what I thought. The jump feels nice and big. Like I said, like they get the platforming somewhat right. They just did the bare minimum. Thank God for that. Give me that crystal. Again, it really feels like I shouldn't have been bouncing on that one. Oh dear! How was that twice? Three of those crates. I just feel like I should not have landed that. The shadow was well off the crate. I'm not gonna blame the hitboxes for being forgiving though. Like that feels like I'm going out of my way to try and criticize the game. How many nitros are in this level? 55. And that's Warp Room 1. Well, almost. Because now we have one of the most boring and pointless boss fights in the Crash history. This boss fight is garbage. So every boss in the game is Crunch, and every time he's paired up with one of the elementals. So we don't get to see any of the classic Crash bosses, or any new Crash bosses, beyond just Crunch 5 times, which, to be honest, is kind of garbage.
Well, looks like the Bandicoot's been busy collecting crystals. I warned you, Bandicoot.
Finally, I get to wrap my fingers around your puny orange neck.
Yeah, it seems like you're pretty intent on like manhandling Crash and strangling him. I hope that the first thing you do in this boss isn't encase yourself in a giant ball that makes it impossible to do that. That would be stupid and not a good boss fight. Rumble in the rocks. You gotta hit these little stones rolling around the arena. Oh, there it is. While avoiding Crunch's attacks, if you can call them that. Oh god! And once you hit all of them... I do like that Aku Aku comes in to, you know, weaken Crunch for you. As a kid, I always interpreted that as Aku Aku helping Crunch, but no, my dad set me straight. It's Aku Aku helping you out by, like, making the things deal more damage. Alright, that's one. Oh, I thought Crunch was going to cancel it out there. That's two. Where's the last one? Crunch got it. Super. So now, there's no offensive way to... I suppose you can hit it yourself, but that deals damage to you. So otherwise you just have to wait for the rocks to cool off, which is what... God damn it, not again! So yeah, like, this boss fight is just so slow, and like, you gotta... It's so much waiting. Where is it? Oh, god damn it! There's almost nothing you can do to stop... To, like, get away from Crunch when he starts rolling at you. Get over here! Oh my god! He did it again! Where is it? There it is. And they can't. At least they cancel each other out when they hit them. Give me this rock. The bowl design is just so... Oh, there we go. It's so hard to roll around the bowl as well. Like, this is the one time the Atmosphere feels bad to control, because the bowl just makes you... It's that curvature again. Alright. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one's over there. Where is the fourth one? Okay, it's cooled off now. It's over here. Get it? Get it? There we go. And that's the end of the boss. Hate that boss a lot. And he's dead, right? To sneak along suspended nitro crates, hold L2 while moving. Doesn't that seem like the most useful power-up in the world? And there's so many ways you can use that power-up as well. Like, you can really get around... You can break the level design with that. That's on par with the death double jump tornado spin to jump across gaps. That's just... I'm surprised this mechanic didn't return in later games. Like, look at this. Doesn't this just seem like a power-up to you?
beginning to test my patience. I'm working on it, Uka. Listen, Crash, you may have outsmarted Rocco, but there are 3 more elemental matches for you. Just as lucky that they are all significantly more powerful. Ha! I have no doubt that the water element will make sure you never see the light of day. Yeah, Water Boy and I are gonna take you out. I'm gonna rip you limb from limb.
Wawa's a fucking idiotic name as well.